Remember, as we just remembered, pyramids are classified by the shape of their bases. So we can have a rectangular pyramid, we can have a square pyramid, which is what you have on your sheet, and we can have a triangular pyramid. We could have, tons. For our purpose in this chapter, we will be dealing with square pyramids and triangular pyramids. So just like you have on that little foldable, squares and triangles is what we'll use today. So the shapes of the bases. Okay, and remember the faces, the lateral faces or the sides, lateral means side, they meet at an apex, so they meet at the tip. Do we remember how to draw these? Yes. I'll redraw one just in case you forgot. Remember to draw a pyramid. Start with the shape of the base. Right? So if we're going to draw a square pyramid, start with the shape of the base. Start with the square. And then put a dot up above somewhere. Okay? And then connect the corners to the dots. Now, some are better than others. Sometimes you have a really good shape and sometimes you don't. But the idea is what counts. Okay? And then I just colored the base so that I can remember that it is a square. Okay? And then the green one is a triangular pyramid because its base is a triangle. Triangle. Squares, the important thing about a square is that all the sides are what? Equal. Okay, every side is the same on a square. That's going to be helpful for our surface area. And an equilateral triangle, my drawing is not an equilateral triangle, but what is an equilateral triangle? Do you think, even if you don't know? Colin, what do you think?
Is it like all triangles are the same, like everything, like just like a square?
Yes. So, yes, like a square. Look at the word equilateral. What did we say lateral means? Liam?
On sides.
Sides. So an equilateral triangle has all the sides the same. And we're talking about the base here. The base is an equilateral triangle, meaning all of its sides are the same of the base. Okay? And that'll help us with our surface area. All right, here we go. All right, talking about nets. So if we like to use nets, it's helpful to visualize surface area with a net. You have nets in front of you, and you can use these. Correct. It's where you unfold the 3D shape. Okay? Here's a square pyramid. That's the solid, right? That's our 3D view. To find the net, we unfold that solid and lay all of its faces flat. Then we can clearly see that in this case there are 5 different shapes that make up the surface area. The base, and then our 4 lateral sides, right? Okay. Same thing with a triangle. The only difference is the base of a triangle is a triangular pyramid is a triangle. Unfold it and flatten it out. Okay, and so you can use your little reference nets as you're doing the surface area. Okay? So you don't have to draw this, or you can sort of model the ones that you have in front of you to draw this out. So notice a square pyramid has a triangle base. A square pyramid has a square base and 4 triangle sides. And a triangle has a triangle base and 3 triangle sides. Okay? And it's net. All right, let's get down to business. Let's find some surface areas. Okay, we'll do it both ways. So just like we did with prisms, we can do it either by just finding the areas of all of the faces, right? The base and the faces, or we can use the net and draw it and label it and find the areas of the faces. So here we go. We're going to find the area of this square pyramid. I want you to draw this in your notes, please. What's the shape of the base of this type of a pyramid? Roger,
Square.
It is a square. So start with your square base. And then we are going to have 4, because the base is a square, we'll have 4 lateral faces. Sam?
I know what the final answer is.
Oh, I don't want the final answer, but I'll come back to you. Good. I'll come back to you. All right, let's look at method 1. If we just add the areas of the faces, we know that the base is a square, right? So if we do that, so I'm going to do this surface area is equal to the area of the square, which is just one side squared, right? A square is side times side. Plus, how many lateral faces do I have? How many lateral faces or sides of this pyramid?
4.
Liam?
4.
4. And how am I going to find the area of one of those side faces? What shape is the side, the lateral face? What shape is that? Kennedy? A triangle. And how do we find area of a triangle? Sam?
Base times height divided by 2.
Very good. Base times height divided by 2. From here, I can plug in my numbers. Let's start with my square. Okay, if I look down here, one side of my square is 7 meters long. So the area of the square would be what?
49.
7 times 7, which is 49. Plus, I'm going to leave everything here except for the base times the height. What's the base of one of my lateral faces? Sam?
7 and the height is 10.
Good. 7 and the height is 10. How did we know that the height is 10? Because of what, Modibo? Because they showed it. But more specifically, what do we know about base and height, Liam?
It's a right angle.
It meets the base at a right angle, right? So 7 times 10 over 2. So now let's start all of our simplifying and adding and multiplication and all that. All right, 7 times 10 is 70. Divided by 2 is 35. Okay, let's start with that. We got simplified inside our parentheses. What's 4 times 35? What is it? 104? 140? Plus 49. So our total surface area is 189 meters squared. Very good. Okay. That's method 1. Method 2 is Colin, question or comment.
How do we get the 140?
The 100,
4 times 35.
yes, 4 times 35. See it? Okay. Edna, question.
How do we get the 49?
The 49 was from the area of our base, which was a square, right? And we know that a square is the same on all sides. So base times height is 7 times 7, which is 49. Good? Okay, when you're using a net, please make sure you label. Okay, so label, right? Each side of that square is 7. And we also know that the height of one of the triangles is 10. And that's a little right angle down there. So it's just getting worse every time I draw it. So just, we know it's a right angle. All right, so we could do the same thing. First, find the area of the square, which is 7 times 7. So we do our square plus 4 times the triangle. 7 times 7 is 49, right? That's the area of our square. Plus 4 times the area of the triangle. Base times height over 2. So we know our base is 7 times 10 over 2. 70 divided by 2 is 35. This is looking very familiar. 49, 4 times 35 we said was 140. So we get, once again, and we label it with units squared. Triangular pyramids, just because there are so many triangles. So many triangles. The base triangle down here may be different from the sides. The lateral side faces will always be the same. So you will have 3 of the same shape, the same area, and then that base might be slightly different. It might be a little bit of a different shape of a triangle. Liam?
There's 2 right angles.
There's what? 2 right angles, right, because our base triangle has to have a right angle, and our lateral faces have to have a right triangle, or a right angle for the base and the height. Okay, I'm going to erase that so we can see it more clearly. All right. I want you in your notes to use one of these methods to find the surface area of this prism. So either use the net, you have a net in front of you that you can model this off of and label. Let's just talk about in our base triangle. What's the base of the triangle that forms our base? What's the length of the base? Modibo, yeah, 6. And what's the height of our triangle that's on our base? Modibo? The base. Look at the triangle on 5.2. Do you see that? This is why the triangle ones can get confusing because of all those right angles and so make sure you're looking at the base triangle by itself. So we know the base is 6 and the height is 5.2 and they meet at a right angle. And then we're going to add 3 because we'll have 3 lateral faces that will all be the same. What's the base? What's the length of the base of one of those lateral faces? What's the length of that base? 6. Yeah, 6. Right? We're looking at one of the sides. So the base is 6. What's the height of the lateral face? 8 feet. Do you see that? How it's going up the side? Laterally on the side. All right. I'm going to let you finish it. Okay. Okay.
Parentheses goes first.
Good.
So our base times height is 6 is our base.
Yep.
And 8 feet is our height.
Good.
So that's going to be times each other. That's 24 or 48.
6 times 8 is 48. Divided by 2 is
24.
very good.
Times 3 is
Okay.
72.
Good.
So and then for the other one,
Yep.
it's going to be 6 times 5.2.
Good.
And I'm not sure that off the top of my head.
31.2. It's okay. You don't need to know it off the top of your head. Good. Which is 15.6.
And then plus each other.
Yep.
And that's going to be. It's going to be 87.6
Very good. And how do we label this?
feet squared.
Feet squared. Do you all agree? No?
Well, 6 times 8 is 48.
Yep.
Oh.
And then you times it by 4. 3.
3, because there's only, no, it's a good point. 6 times 8 is 48, right? Divided by 2. 24 times 3, because there are 3 of those.
I thought it was divided by 3.
No, times 3, because there's 3 lateral faces. Right? Times 3 lateral faces. Okay. There's the picture. I don't know. It's some sort of what did you say? No, I thought you said what they said in the book. Anyways, I cut out a bunch of this because it was super long. Okay. Gentlemen. It says, what is the least amount of wrapping paper needed to cover a pyramid? So here's our pyramid visually. It's not awesome. A pyramid with a square base. That should be a hint to you. A pyramid with a square base with sides of 1.5 meters long and triangular faces with heights of 1.2 meters. Okay, when they ask you about this wrapping paper or paint, how much paint would you need? They're asking about what?
How many?
So it's area?
What kind of area?
The surface area?
Surface area. So they didn't specifically say what is the surface area. But if you need to cover all of the surfaces, you need to find the surface area. Okay, what would you do first here? What? Someone said it. Yeah, time to sketch. Yeah, time to sketch. Okay, let's draw it. What shape is our base? Liam?
Square.
It's a square. Start with your square base. Okay, and then draw your point because it's a pyramid and connect. Okay, so this is what this thing actually looks like. We can't really see the base in the picture. So from here, we can label. How long are the sides? How long are the square sides? Liam?
1.5 meters.
Good. So 1.5 all around. And then it told us that the lateral height of the triangle is what, Liam?
1.5 meters.
2
meters.
1.2 meters. All right. Can you solve this? I want everyone to do this in your notes. Okay. How do we find the area of the square? What's the area of the square? How are we going to find that? Kennedy?
1.5
Good. 1.5 times 1.5 plus 4 times the triangle. How do we find the area of the triangle? Dylan. Good. 1.5 times 1.2, base times height, divided by 2. This is getting real smushed over there. All right, now we can do the math. 1.5 times 1.5 is what? 2.25. Yep. 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25. Plus 4. Now we got to do our parentheses. What should we do first? Roger.
You should do the adding first.
What should we do first in that parentheses? Mine is squish, but if you're doing the work on your own paper, you would know what you're supposed to be doing. 1.2 times 1.5. Up here in the top, do that first. 1.2 times 1.5 is 1.8. Divided by 2. What is it, Liam?
9.0.
Close.
9.9.
0.9. 0.9. 0.9.
Oh my goodness.
What should we do next? 4 times 0.9. Good. Okay, now we can just add these 2.25, 3.6. Okay, so total surface area, or the amount of wrapping paper that you would need to cover this, is 5.85. How do we label it?
Square.
What squared?
Meters.
Meters squared. Okay. We good?